Before the video starts, I just want to give a brief message. If you don't care and just want to watch the Aglaea analysis, skip to the timecode on screen. This video is going up on April 18th, 2025. The next day, April 19th, will mark a full year since I began making these HSR videos. I'm sorry if it may be getting repetitive how often I bring this up, but thank you so much for all the growth this channel has gotten in the past year. And I hope we can achieve even more growth this year by hitting my milestone of 2,000 subs before 2025 is over. That's all I want to say, so let's proceed with the analysis, shall we? Aglaea holds the record for the first amphoreus character made playable in HSR. Naturally, she would have to be a pretty big deal for her to be the first of the lineup. She certainly is a big deal, serving as the de facto leader of the Chrysos heirs. It's even established during the quest where we take her POV that she and the Chrysos heirs technically hold the governing power in Akama. In other words, Aglaea is basically the president of Amphoreus for the time being. One of the first things we learn about her upon her introduction in-game is that she does not see in the same way everyone else does. While normally we see through light reaching our retinas, Aglaea doesn't need that light to perceive the world.
The wind carries messages along golden threads, delivering countless sensations to my fingertips.
As the leader of the Chrysos heirs, and by extension all of Akama, Aglaea is a case of heavy the head that wears the crown. We see the lengths she'll go to when she threatens to execute us for a landed slip that we're from outside Amphoreus. Some players give her character crap for this, but I think it makes total sense for her to be wary of us and hold us accountable for breaking the deal we made. Hell, I'm surprised she didn't try to execute us sooner. It's established Aglaea doesn't want anyone to know there are worlds beyond Amphoreus' sky, because the Sky Titan will shoot down anyone who tries to fly out the atmosphere. Yet here are two Outworlders who managed to survive their way down to Amphoreus? If I was Aglaea, I'd also be highly suspicious of these two and their potential motives. Her bearing the core flame of romance, plus her attitude towards us when we first interact with her, does lead you to assume she is this kind, motherly person without a bad bone in her body, but Aglaea is first and foremost a leader. She has to make sacrifices. She has to keep her guard up in an attempt to keep her people safe. TLDR, her actions here make sense because she has the people of Amphoreus to protect, and you telling people you're from other worlds is doing the exact opposite of helping. That isn't to say her kinder side is a total facade. She is sweet and sometimes playful to people she trusts, such as the other Chrysos heirs. Finon might have said that she has long sealed her heart in ice for Akima's sake, but it's clear there's still some level of warmth in there. Speaking of sealing her heart in ice though, it's time for us to play the first round of a fun new game I made called Which Flamechaser Are They? For those unaware, the Chrysos heirs and the Flame Chase Journey of Amphoreus are meant to reference a prominent group of characters from Honkai Impact 3rd, the Flamechasers. While some Chrysos heirs are direct variants of Flamechasers, some are separate characters who more or less carry over design aspects or motifs from their HI3 counterparts. For Aglaea, there are two Flamechasers who could be her counterparts, Eden and Aponia. Eden has a heavy association with gold. So naturally, with Aglaea also having such a heavy connection to it, a comparison between them was bound to be drawn. However, I think the Flamechaser who has more in common with Aglaea is the other option I mentioned, bearer of the discipline signet, Aponia. Aponia is very similar design-wise to Aglaea, having blonde hair and similarly styled eyes. In both cases, the lack of detail in their eyes isn't meant to indicate blindness. Aponia can see just fine. The design choice is meant to convey how she's lost hope after experiencing so much tragedy. In Aglaea's case, she doesn't see with her eyes, but instead uses her golden threads. Both of them have dealt with grave losses in the past, and thus tried to keep themselves detached from others so as to not break their heart and soul any more than they already are. Aponia's discipline ability, from what I've been told by friends who know HI3 lore, is a super broken power of suggestion. It restricts you to perform actions based on the command she's given you. As an example, if Aponia were to use her discipline to make you moonwalk everywhere you go, then that's exactly what you'll do. And her power also affects bodily functions to help the disciplined perform the command. So your body would be able to perfectly moonwalk even if you never knew how to beforehand. On top of all that, it gives the disciplined super regeneration in order to keep them alive so they can continue following their commands. You know, in case the ability wasn't broken enough already. Aglaea shows she is capable of discipline, not the power, is just describing more like the literal definition, since she is the commander of the Chrysos heirs. She's able to unite this band of eccentric personalities to fight under a common goal. In her third character story, we learn that the other heirs have come to her seeking guidance. We also have the Garment Makers, Aglaea's memo sprites. They serve as not only the mannequins for the outfits she weaves, but also her personal attendants and informants. The Garment Makers have minds of their own and are willing to die for their master, just like how those under Amphoreus discipline are forced to follow those orders until their dying breaths. Aglaea as a name means festive radiance. It's the name of one of the 3 graces in Greek mythology and wife of Hephaestus, the god of fire. Her namesake being connected to the fire god makes sense since she's leading the Chrysos heirs in the flame chase journey, and her name meaning radiance does connect to her own core flame, that being the romance titan Nestia. By the way, Nestia's name is literally the ancient Greek word for remembrance, which is a fun lore detail to explain why that's the playable path she falls under. Romance doesn't always equate to love. Romance can describe excitement, mystery, an awe-inspiring feeling, and most importantly, romance is synonymous with beauty. The overarching theme of Aglaea's character stories is the concept of beauty. She comes from a family of Nestia worshippers, where each member of that family is taught a form of art to pursue true beauty in. The art form Aglaea was taught was making garments. By the end of her 4th story, it's made clear where she's at on her journey of searching. Legend holds that every disciple of Nestia devotes their entire life to crafting what they deem to be the ultimate beauty to present to their deity. It's been a long time since she crafted beautiful garments, yet she has never ceased weaving the threads of destiny. The ultimate beauty she seeks to create isn't any piece of clothing. She wants to weave together a romantic tomorrow for Amphoreus. Aglaea is a pretty interesting character, all things considered. Underneath her beautiful looks and attire is a cunning mind and a dedication to her people. She sets a good standard for characterization for the rest of the Amphoreus cast, so I'm glad she got to be the first one to become playable. Also, she is like insanely pretty, oh my god. Thank you for watching. This is one part of a series of analysis videos on Amphoreus' cast of characters. If you want to see me analyze another character from Amphoreus, please subscribe to the channel so we can hit our goal of 2,000 subscribers this year. Subscribing is totally free, you can unsub at any time, and it will make me smile. Also, like this video to let me know if I did a good job. As a smaller content creator on the platform, engaging with my videos really, truly helps me out. Have a great rest of your day, and until we meet again, take care.